in the seating up front. There's still plenty of seating up here. We do want to get going. We've got a lot on the program. So if you can start making your way to your seats, and we'll plan to start here probably in the next 5 minutes or so.
Wow, people are getting quiet. Yeah. Let's make sure we have, we need to make sure we have the front. Well, wow, this is an amazing turnout. You're never sure when you do these things who's going to come, and everybody came out in droves, so thank you for that. Good afternoon, everybody. I am Dave Herring. I have the privilege of serving as the Executive Director of the Lincoln Airport Authority, and I want to welcome you to the soon-to-be 50% complete new LNK terminal facility. What do you think? Looks pretty great so far, doesn't it? So I don't know about all of you, but I am the sort that it's very difficult to imagine what something's going to look like in just renderings alone. So having the opportunity to start seeing some of the finishes coming in from the floor to the backsplashes, and I know some of you are doing tours later, now just take that imagination and place it in the south side of the building as well, and what an amazing facility this is going to be as a gateway for our great community. There are a number of VIPs in attendance today. Many of them will be helping with the program, so I will go ahead and introduce them at the appropriate time. But I do want to introduce some individuals who will not be necessarily joining up here, but I do want to make sure we acknowledge them. First, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge my bosses, the Lincoln Airport Authority Board of Directors, who are all here today. So I just ask, I don't know where they are at, but Zach James is our board chair. Oh, I guess they're over here. Zach James, our board chair. John Olson is our assistant chair. Nikki Beamer is our secretary. RJ Nurnberg, our assistant secretary. And who am I? I'm missing one. There he is. Dick Cusick, our member at large. So how can I miss that? Wow. I think my review is coming up too, so that's probably not a good thing. One of the other things I would ask is I'm absolutely positive that I will miss somebody if I attempt to point out all of the elected officials. So if you are an elected official and you are in attendance, could you please stand to be recognized? And then finally, as everybody can imagine, I mean, despite the fact that you may not know what the announcement is yet, a day like this does not occur for airports, in some cases ever. So one of the things that we made the decision to do was to invite all of the airport staff that were able to attend to come today. For us to be able to do what we do, it's impossible to do that with the dedication. There's about 80 to 85 of us strong, and they are simply one of the greatest teams that we have and that I know of, that certainly that I've ever worked with and that I believe exists in our community. So you will see them wearing the red shirts. That's why we're all in red today. So if we could just give a round of applause for our team here at the airport. So we believe that today's announcement, as significant as it's going to be, not just represents a new chapter for our airport and our community, but actually a tremendous opportunity for our state to continue to position itself as a leader with for teamwork and innovation when seeking to overcome today's challenges. So to kick things off, we're honored to have an individual join us who certainly understands the value of aviation and the impact that it can have in a rural state like Nebraska. Born and raised in Platte County, he has spent his entire life within Nebraska agriculture, whether that's on a dirt lot at his home farm, growing up, or owning and operating a family-run agribusiness that has been responsible for the creation of thousands of jobs. It's my privilege to welcome the still recently elected and 41st governor of the great state, Mr. Honorable Jim KOLN.
Thank you. Wow, this is Nebraska and Lincoln at its finest. What a great hour. I just have a couple of remarks. First off, what an extraordinary privilege it is to serve as your governor. Only by the grace of God do I stand here, and it is off the charts what a privilege it is to work with Nebraska public servants, all with the same mindset to do things to make this state incredible. I was sharing the last 2 years as we've been out on the campaign trail to meet Nebraskans and earn the privilege. I've asked this question because us lifetimers tend to take things for granted. When I'd ask a lifetime Nebraskan, what's the one thing you love the most about Nebraska? Gosh, we look down, we kick the dirt, we really don't know what to say. But when I'd ask Nebraskans that have moved here, what's the one thing you love the most? They never ever hesitate. First breath out, it's the people. It's the people of Nebraska. We're incredible, and because we have such love in our hearts to help each other every single day. I was reminiscing about this. You know, Suzanne and I have 4 children. My oldest is 42. I know you're shocked because I still think I'm 45. But I'm old enough to remember when the terminal was built and when we would fly in and out with Coach Osborne. So it's extraordinary what an incredible, what the Lincoln Airport Authority is doing. It's extraordinary what the future is. The other thing that from my seat is pretty cool, Lincoln Airport is home of 4,000 troops, the Nebraska Air and National Guard. I've had some fascinating moments since November 9th. One was when I was with General Bohawk, and we were over, he was getting me up to speed, and General Bohawk, we sat down and said, hey, you know, he's calling me governor, and I said, hey General, we're in amongst the team of 10, we can go by first names now, right? And he goes, no, he goes, this is really serious. This is serious. When we're in the NEMA room, we're in this room, we're dealing with emergencies, this is serious stuff. He said, by the way, you're Commander-in-Chief. Holy cow. I bring it up just simply because this airport is central. Lincoln Airport is central to Nebraska, central to the city of Lincoln. I think we all understand that the one way we can gain a little extra time is having extraordinary opportunities to travel. We're in the greatest place in the world for a lot of reasons. The people are incredible. The Lala Aquifer that I call the pot of gold, where we can be making sustainable new jet fuel out of corn. But the biggest thing, we're in the center of the greatest country that history has ever seen, and we can get anywhere. And it's going to be so awesome to continue to expand that and make it better and better so we can grow. Last thing, we just, as your governor, have a singular focus to make sure the things that we're focused on that we all agree on. We all agree our kids are our future, right? We all agree our kids are our future. We can never give up on kids. We're working hard with the unicameral, our partners in the unicameral, to make sure school funding change. The state is involved with it. Right now, the state ranks number 49 out of 50. I think we all agree with the education future fund that we're putting forth and making sure we have funding for special education and have the foundation aid is really, really critical. And then getting income tax down to where we can compete with our neighbors. Maybe the last thing I wanted to, we got to have fun, right? So Coach Rule's here, and Coach, where's Coach? There's Coach Cook. So, you know, Coach Rule, I know that the spring game's going to have an extraordinary number of people there, but if you would like to help boost that, my suggestion would maybe we get another couple cowboy hats, get Coach Cook out with his horses, and then do a roping exhibition, and you and I ride around and judge him. It's just, who knows what could happen. And Coach Cooks can't hardly walk right now because he was roping for 4 hours last night. So I hope you're going to be okay and go to Coach Rules, get some good cutting-edge recovery stuff so your body heals really good. So let me just leave it with, today's a big, big day for Lincoln. It's a big, big day for the state of Nebraska. Kudos to the Lincoln Airport Authority, and the future of Nebraska is extraordinarily, extraordinarily bright. Incredible privilege to be your governor. Thanks for having me here, Governor.
I assure you have more than a few things on your schedule, so I appreciate you taking the time to be here today. As my industry colleagues could attest to, it is absolutely impossible for an airport like Lincoln to have the long-term sustainability that we have had without the participation and support of the municipalities that it serves. Now, whether in our case that's partnering on projects such as Arnold Heights Elementary School or the law enforcement training range or the critical infrastructure development that's taken place with respect to our industrial park and rail park, or to the attempts to attract additional air service, we've long appreciated the forward-thinking relationship that we've shared with the city of Lincoln. So it's now my privilege to welcome our mayor, the Honorable Larry Gallagher.
Well, thank you so much, David, for your dedicated leadership. It is a pleasure to be here today with so many of you. My husband actually dropped our son off at the airport earlier this morning to head back to college, and he sent me a text picture of the balloon arch and all the seats and said, "Something happening today?" I was like, wink, wink, yes, I can't talk about it yet. But thank you again. Your leadership has helped us land so many amazing opportunities here at the Lincoln Airport. And Governor Pillen, thank you for shining a light on this exciting day for our city. Your presence here today means so much. And to Ed and your team from Global Crossing, thank you for being here today and for partnering with our community and the Lincoln Airport to provide expanded air service for our residents and our visitors. We're so excited to welcome you to our community and for all that it means, the impacts for our quality of life and our economy. And to the Lincoln Airport Authority Board members and staff, thank you for your excellent and determined work to make Lincoln a great destination. Nick Cusick and I were just saying I really ought to say relentless work to make this happen. You guys are incredible, and your leadership is to be commended. And leaders at the local level of government have also been pivotal to the success that we are celebrating today. I want to say thank you and special thanks to Lincoln City Council Chair Tammy Ward for being such an advocate for air service in our community. And to Lancaster County Board Chair Krista Yoakum for your leadership in making contributions to this important day, and to former Board Chair Deb Shore, who is here with us today as well, and of course to other City Council members who are here today, Michelle Suarez and Tom Beckius and Benny Shobe and the rest of the Council and the rest of the County Board members. Thank you. Today, with so many committed public and private sector partners on board, we are ready to take Lincoln and our airport to new heights. Recognizing that our airport is a key gateway and driver of economic growth for Lincoln, the city worked alongside our partners in local government to support the airport's continued growth. The expanded service that we're unveiling today was propelled in part through $1.5 million from our city's American Rescue Plan funding. And together with Lancaster County, we invested $3 million of local fiscal recovery funds into the airport, which has formed a vital bridge to offer airline carriers a minimum revenue guarantee. And this announcement continues our airport's really exciting trajectory. The $55 million LNK Next terminal expansion that is underway will create new opportunities for economic development. It'll improve the passenger experience, enhance security, and renovate the administrative offices for incredible staff here at the airport. And on top of all this, Burrell Aviation recently announced their intent to develop an air cargo hub next door that could add as many as 350 permanent jobs to our local economy. So here's what the 30,000-foot view of the Lincoln Airport makes clear. By supporting over $1.3 billion in annual economic activity and 8,000 jobs in our community, Our airport is vital to our city, and we are committed to its success. So, as today demonstrates, by working together, we can create a world-class aviation facility that supports our community and helps all routes lead to Lincoln. Thank you so much.
All right, so let's talk about why we're here today. Commercial air service is easily the most talked about topic whenever the airport comes up in conversation. It does not make a difference whether it is a presentation that we're giving to a local club, whether we're bumping into people at the local grocery store, or whether we read some of the often entertaining and interesting social media posts. People have a lot of ideas about what should happen with commercial air service here in our community. Now, over time, both our administration now and past administrations have continued to be relentless on trying to get additional air service here. We have probably met with every major carrier and every regional carrier at one time or another and have continued that dialogue over time, and it has yielded some results every so often. Most recent ones that I can cite are in 2014, we were able to bring in Delta service to Atlanta, and then here most recently, we were able to bring in Houston service on United. The thing is with that is that those successes have been few and far between, and it hasn't really been able to get us to a point that allows us to sustain that kind of incremental growth that really would sort of set us in the right trajectory. Then you add to that was all exacerbated in the wake of the pandemic, where aviation was probably one of the most significantly impacted industries as a result of people having to stay home. Ultimately, that pandemic led to the complete cessation of service here on Delta, which I know everybody is well aware of, because again, we hear about the fact that everybody is well aware of that. And there's also a nationwide capacity shortage really disproportionately impacting airports the size of Lincoln. So one of the things that we've seen here recently is as the nation has continued to push towards a recovery, there was a thought that people would not return to the skies very quickly, and that has absolutely proven not to be true. People are flying now at rates that even predate the numbers that we saw before the pandemic. And we have heard from everybody that there is a significant desire locally for people to have ways to get to the destinations that way they want to go. And so we were sort of met in the unenviable position of, because we have kept up our dialogue with carriers over time, and because we largely knew what the response would be, that we found ourselves where the community wanted more air service, and we were going to do our best to get it, but we largely knew what the response would be when we spoke with the carriers about it. So there's a quote from author Deepak Chopra that says, "Every time you are tempted to react in the same old way, ask if you want to be a prisoner of the past or a pioneer of the future." So we are fortunate to live in a community that really truly embraces innovation and collaboration as a means to solve problems. And there is no reason that our airport should not be that same way. So the airport authority made a decision. In looking at the options in front of us and the ones that we saw that were rapidly declining, we realized that doing business as usual just wasn't going to get us there in either the speed or in the volume that we wanted to get there. So in working together with our air service consulting firm, which is Forecast Inc., we sort of charted a new course. We did not want to go out and try to just attract a single carrier or a single market. We wanted to pioneer, to use the quote, a new way of thinking for air service in Lincoln. One that would provide a comprehensive system of destination networks that everybody could use, not just business focused or leisure focused, but everybody could use. And it had to meet 3 criteria. 1, that it met the needs of our existing travelers. 2, that it provided enhanced opportunities to inject visitors into our community, because we believe that the right service not only drives business and provides incentives for people to fly out of here, but provides a reason for people to come to Lincoln to fly on that service. And finally, serves as an overall catalyst for economic growth. So that journey culminates here today. I am thrilled to introduce Nebraska's newest way to fly, Redway. So the mission of Redway is simple. We want to provide our community with the right destinations, at the right time, at the right price, all on a product that is unparalleled in customer service. So guests purchasing flights through Redway will travel in comfort on multi-class 150-seat Airbus A320 aircraft that are operated by Global X Air Tours and supported by Global Crossing Airlines. And we're going to hear a lot more about Global Crossing from a special guest of ours here later in the program, because he knows a lot more about it than I do, so stay tuned for that. So as I said, the goal was to provide a system of markets. So it was really fun over the last couple of days. Rachel posted something on Facebook saying, hey, do you want to go here or here or whatnot? So we're not announcing, as I said, 1 or 2 markets today. We're actually thrilled to announce 7. They are a combination of seasonal markets and year-round markets, and we can't wait to have people here where they're going. So, one of the key things about air service in a community like ours is that I've always said that it's the role of our airport to go out and try to get new service here, but it's the role of our community to actually keep that service here. So, going down that road, it made sense that our community should be part of announcing these markets. So we've asked a couple of friends to help us announce these markets. There was no better place to start, because we would not be here today, as our mayor pointed out, if not for the leadership and foresight of our primary community governing bodies. The willingness of both Lincoln and Lancaster County to contribute vital economic resources into an air service fund provided the final piece in our efforts to bring unparalleled destination air service to the capital city. So it is only fitting that they have the honor of announcing the first market. So I'd like to welcome at this time City Councilwoman Tammy Ward and Lancaster County Commission Chair Krista Yoakum to get this kicked off.
Thank you so much, Dave. What a thrill and what an opportunity. It's such a great day to be in Lincoln. I bring you greetings from the Lincoln City Council, and I thank my colleagues who are also here, and the mayor. Thank you for your, where did you go? There you are, for your great comments. But my colleagues again, Vice Chair Tom Beckius and City Councilwoman Michelle Suarez and Councilman Benny Shobe. There you are, Benny. So thank you for your support as well. And I do have to mention, I did get to meet our special guest CEO, who's on the program later, and when I introduced myself as chair of the Lincoln City Council, he said, "It's very nice to meet you. Now let's get these planes full." And I said, "Okay, no problem." And so I was kind of regretting having, no, I wasn't. I was really, but it did give me a little pause. So we have some work to do, but I guarantee you we will do it. The Lincoln City Council was really so proud to have been part of this big day happening. We were really glad to support and encourage this moment. We've all waited a long time for this day. We're so thrilled to announce this route. Are you ready? Or do they know? We know Minneapolis was a local favorite and one we have all missed having in our community. Minneapolis is a vibrant city, a hub of commerce, culture, and entertainment. This route will be especially beneficial for business travelers who need to attend meetings or conferences in the Twin Cities. From world-class dining to trendy food trucks, and by the way, Lincoln really loves food trucks. Minneapolis is a foodie's paradise. On behalf of the Lincoln City Council, thank you so very much, and welcome to Lincoln.
Thank you, Councilmember Ward. As chair of the County Commission, I want to recognize former Commissioner Deb Shore, who's here and who was chair when we actually started this whole project. But I also want to acknowledge the staff and the Airport Authority for their very innovative and pioneering thinking on this that got us here. And since Tammy has announced our destination, I have a list of places I'd like to see when I get there. You know, we could see the Twins, Paisley Park, go to the Sculpture Garden, maybe catch a Vikings game. They have a maze made of ice in the winter. But more than being excited about the places that we can go now from Lincoln, I'm really, really excited about the people who can come here now. You know, who can come into Lincoln and see what we have to offer. I do have a list of conferences that I'd like to host, and those people need to be able to get here, but that's a different list. I didn't bring it with me. Thank you all for your support, and yes, let's fill those seats.
So I don't think I need to tell people in this room that there's a special relationship that exists between a city and the university that resides within it. I mean, here in Lincoln, you can see that from the moment you set foot in the Haymarket. You can hear it in conversations at coffee shops and grocery stores. And of course, you can certainly feel it on game day weekends. Over the last 5 or 6 years, our airport has made it a concerted effort to enhance our involvement and our standing within the community as far as getting engaged. Nowhere has that been more noticeable than the growth in our partnership with Husker Athletics, culminating here recently as being designated as the official airport of Husker Athletics. Therefore, it should be no surprise to anybody in this room that our Huskers will take a key role in many of the announcements today. First one of these really needs no introduction, as he's one of the most distinguished and respected coaches in all of collegiate volleyball. Over 23 years at Nebraska, Coach Cook holds the nation's highest win percentage, having guided the Huskers to 656 wins, 22 NCAA regionals, and of course the 4 national titles. Furthermore, on more than one occasion, we have been honored to see Coach Cook passing through the airport on his way to clinics and other events, including recently on his way to Hawaii, where he stopped to take a quick pic with someone who we think is a fan, but you would have to ask her that. So at this point, please help me welcome Husker head volleyball coach, unless you want to coach football, John Cook.
All right, I'd love to coach football, for sure. All I know is we're tired of driving to Omaha, so this is awesome. The city I'm going to introduce, I'll just give you a little background on it, see if you can figure it out. The first thing is, I will be going there in 2 weeks to see a top recruit in the country. They have great barbecue. One of the greatest guitar players ever has a statue there, Stevie Ray Vaughan. It's the home where Whole Foods started. It's my favorite place I like to go. And I always want to do this, but I'm not going to do it today. It's Austin, Texas. All right. Some of the greatest volleyball matches ever played. This is Nebraska and Texas.
I gotta say, as these markets get announced and you hear kind of the murmur go through the crowd with people getting excited about it, that makes all the work that went into this worth it. So one of the many benefits of being the official airport of the Huskers is it affords us the opportunity to meet many of the amazing student athletes that represent the university. So the hardworking, dedicated women and men that don the scarlet and cream represent among the very best that our university and community have to offer due to their relentless pursuit of excellence, both on and off the competition surface. Last year, our airport became one of the, if not the first airports in the nation to participate in the NAIL program when we partnered with Allie Badenhorst. So we recently reached out to Allie to see if she might like to announce one of these markets, and she agreed, but only if she could bring some friends. And we said, okay, we'll allow it. So to announce our next market, please welcome Husker women's volleyball team members Allie Badenhorst, Kennedy Orr, and Lexi Rodriguez.
All right, so we don't really have a big introduction, but we kind of have these ears, these fun, cute little ears to give you a little hint. But we are so excited to be here to finally announce the new nonstop flight to Orlando. Woo!
Hopefully, after we win the championship next year,
Coach will take us to Disney World.
So as I said, the goal here is to fly to the right destinations at the right time. So one of the things that's fun as part of this process is figuring out what those right destinations are. In most cases, when we looked at the data and we got to hear about some of the markets we were going to, they made sense. A lot of these we've heard about before, we knew that that would be coming. This next market is a little bit different and a little bit of a surprise, at least it was to me. Now, to announce the next market, the team at the airport decided it would be fun to have me do this boot-scooting, hat-waving thing. And I said, I can absolutely assure you that nobody in the audience wants to see me do that. I wasn't even good at that when I lived in Wyoming. So instead, I'm going to be turning the announcing reins over to two of the best in the business. Their passion for country music is contagious, and their dedication to the listeners is unmatched. So how about you all help me welcome JP and Coriel.
Congratulations, this is awesome.
Thank you.
All right, so.
Hi.
Hi, wow, there's a lot of people here. Okay, we are excited about announcing the fourth location, and we decided, actually, it was more Coriel who decided that we should do a program for you.
You know, let me cut in here really fast.
Please.
We play the artists, we are not the artists.
No.
We've practiced this, so give us a round of applause when we're done, because we're nervous, okay? Are you ready?
Yeah, are you ready?
Me.
Okay, ready?
Got it?
Yeah.
Okay.
At At the Lincoln Airport, the rumors are true.
There are exciting new routes for you.
Perfect if you love Jason, Luke, and Garth.
Or Miranda, Lainey, and Carrie. Ooh, she's smart.
You may run into Tim McGraw and Faith Hill. Oh, you guessed it. We'll see you in
Nashville!
And we know a little bit about this place because we've been there multiple times because of country music is in our blood and we love it so much. The Ryman Auditorium, the Church of Country Music. You got the Grand Ole Opry. You've got my Tennessee Titans. Sorry, Coach. Huskers are first, Tennessee second. And then just so much to see when you go to Nashville. It's one of the best places to be, and you will run into your favorite country stars. And
yes.
We're excited about it too.
And I actually just got back from Nashville, so I'm excited for when I go back again. Less of a jaunt. I can leave from my home, this wonderful city that we love so much.
Yes.
And then hopefully bring some friends along with me, because like it's been said before, it's great to leave and escape for a while, but there's a reason why we choose Lincoln as our home and our home base. So excited to be a part of this. Thank you so much.
One more thing we have for you is we want to make sure folks are leaving from Lincoln to go right to Nashville for the parties and the fun and the music. And we know that Thomas Rhett's going to be coming to Nebraska. We worked a deal to have you guys, somebody, fly to Nashville to see Thomas Rhett for a second time. So see him here, see him there, thanks to the Lincoln Airport.
So as the pieces started falling in place for this project, we got more and more excited. One of the individuals we were working with said, hey, what are we going to call this thing? Because there's all these moving pieces and all these things that are going on. And so we went through a number of brainstorming exercises and naming exercises to figure out what we could call it. I don't know about you guys or if you've ever tried to come up with a company name, but as vast as the English language is, it is shocking how many words are already owned by somebody else. But we knew that was one thing was for certain as we went through this, is that we wanted the name to represent something that not just Lincoln, but all of Nebraska could get behind. So obviously, red had to be foundational within the name. So red means a lot of means. It can mean a lot of things. It can mean strength, it can mean courage, it can mean determination. But here in Nebraska, I think there's one thing that it means, and that's passion. That means passion for our state, passion for our fellow Nebraskans, passion for our communities, and above all, passion for our Huskers. So for those of you who had the opportunity to either attend or listen to our next guest's introductory press conference, or simply witness the sheer tenacity with which he has approached the first few months on the job, I think we could all agree that it would be hard to find anyone whose actions have more personified passion than his. In the 4 months since hired, Coach Rule and his staff have seemingly traversed every inch of the state of Nebraska, and true to his word, he has been a fixture throughout the community, at restaurants, concerts, and sporting events, and finding a little time here and there to maybe do a little coaching. We're thrilled to have him as part of the Lincoln community, eager to see what's next for Husker football, and excited to welcome him to come up and announce the next markets. Ladies and gentlemen, Husker head football coach Matt Rule. That's in the next part, so you can share that.
No. That's your world, man. Sorry. Kind of humbling to get up and talk after Coach Cook. I'm 655 wins away from him, so. And I would just tell everybody, I think we play our first game at Minnesota, yes? So you better get your tickets quickly. So, but I'm so excited about this because at the end of the day, my job is about recruiting. And recruiting is the lifeblood of everything that we do. And the University of Nebraska at Lincoln, it's not just about football recruiting or volleyball recruiting. I think it's about just all the kids across the country having a chance to come to this great state, this great city, this great university, this great community. Like, I want to open the doors to them. The best faculty, the best staff. And so we've been dying for this. I literally brought a tear. When I saw Austin, I didn't know Austin. A little tear ran down my eye. I swear to goodness that's going to be part of it because that's the lifeblood. So I will proudly announce, as a proud supporter of the Nebraska High School Coaches Association and a dedicated member of the Texas High School Coaches Association, that our newest, I'm so excited about this, that our newest destination is Dallas, Texas. I stood up at the Dallas regional meeting. I stood up at the Dallas regional meeting and addressed all those coaches, and I told them that the University of Nebraska is Texas's Big Ten school. We will recruit Dallas, just like Coach Osborne did. We will recruit Nebraska, and we're going to win. Thank you, guys.
So if you can't tell by now, our airport is pretty darn proud of being the official airport of the Huskers. Matt and I were having a conversation when he came up, because there's something that I'm sharing now, but like Matt, both of us actually attended State College High School in State College, Pennsylvania. I actually wanted to joke with him a little bit because I was all excited, and I said I can just point out that he's older than me. And I was looking last night, and actually he graduated a year ahead of me, but he is a year younger than I am, so even more accomplished in that too. But we both went to State College High School, and we got the privilege of enjoying game day Saturdays in central Pennsylvania. Now, with all due respect to Penn State, there is nothing quite like game day here in Lincoln, Nebraska. Nebraska has one of the largest radio networks in the country, and one of the other perks of being the official airport of the Huskers is that over the last couple of years or so, we've heard our name, Fly LNK, go out over the airwaves on Saturday, and that's just so cool to hear. So to announce the next market, I want to recognize an individual who is significantly better with a microphone in her hand than I am, and she's one of the most recognized, and she's host of Sports Nightly, sideline reporter Jessica Coogan.
Gee, thanks whoever scheduled me to follow Coach Rule up here, but that's okay. I got a great city to talk about. It's the busiest airport in the United States and also voted the most efficient, nearly 20 years running, and you can get to anywhere in the world from Atlanta, Georgia. And yeah, I'm excited about Atlanta. There's a lot of great things to do in Atlanta, but of course I talk about sports, so I'm going to tell you about how great of a sports city that it is. So you jump on that direct flight to Atlanta, and then you take a 2-hour drive. You can wind up in a little place called Augusta. Yeah, that's right. The Masters coming up next week. It's on my bucket list of sporting events to attend. Atlanta also has a number of professional sports franchises. The NFL's Atlanta Falcons, the NBA's Atlanta Hawks, the WNBA's Atlanta Dream, who has a Nebraska tie. The COO and president of the Atlanta Dream is none other than Morgan Shaw Parker. She was a Husker. She graduated from right here in UNL. You can also watch a baseball game, right? The 2021 World Series champions, the Atlanta Braves. They've got a great atmosphere to check out a ballpark. If you're not a Braves fan, you can schedule watching your favorite team right there in Atlanta. They have the Battery. It's a new area that's outside of the ballpark. It is a great place to attend. If you're more of a history buff, I've got you covered there too, because in downtown Atlanta, you can check out the College Football Hall of Fame. And as we all know, we've got deep ties to the College Football Hall of Fame. 20 players from Nebraska football have been inducted into the Hall of Fame, and 6 coaches. We were told to bring some props or wear something that represented our city, so I wore my Tom Osborne shirt because he is one of those 6 coaches. And also, I couldn't find a 34 jersey laying around, so Coach Rule, I hope you don't mind, I took this off the wall outside in the locker room. Our fearless leader, Trev Alberts, is one of those guys you can see right there in that College Football Hall of Fame in downtown Atlanta, and I promise I will return this as soon as we leave here. There's a hole on the wall outside the locker room. So yeah, excited to announce Atlanta, Georgia. Better take this right now.
Yeah. I was wondering what that was, and it's part of the program I wasn't aware of, so obviously we said 7 markets, so we're down to our last one. So as I mentioned earlier, it's impossible for an airport like ours to succeed without the support of the community, whether that's air service initiatives, legislative efforts, economic development projects, you name it. So airports with strong partnerships locally are often long-standing economic catalysts for the community in which they reside. So when I came to Lincoln, one of the very first meetings that I had was a combination meeting with the Chamber of Commerce, Economic Development, and what is now Visit Lincoln. And truly, with all honesty, it was absolutely one of the selling points in us wanting to call Lincoln home. So while the faces have changed, their commitment to the business community, their drive to see Lincoln grow and prosper, and the vocal support that they have always had for LNK have remained resolute. So to announce the final market, please welcome Chamber President Jason Ball and Derek Wombeck from Visit Lincoln.
Thank you, Dave. Man, it is a great day to be in Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm telling you, in the chamber world, we talk a lot about is it a Chamber of Commerce weather day. I'm sorry we're working on that to make it warmer here. But it's awful darn nice right now in fabulous Las Vegas, Nevada. We could not be more excited as a lead tourism and visitor industry organization here in town to have all these amazing new destinations for people to fly into Lincoln to visit us and stay the night in our community and enjoy the amazing sports and activity that happens here in Lincoln every day. Dave, I want to congratulate you and your team for the great work that you do in partnership with the business community here. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how Lincoln wins. We innovate, we find our own direction to move in, and I want to encourage everybody in this community, put all your chips in on Lincoln, Nebraska.
All right, so you now know where we're going, but probably the icing on the cake is how you're going to get there. It is you can have communities that have all of these markets, but what you're not going to have is a community that can deliver you there in style, as I'm about to talk about. So with exciting destinations now in everybody's future, it's imperative to complete that experience by having an unparalleled product. We are excited to be working with Global X Air Tours and Global Crossing Airlines. Global Crossing Airlines is a best-in-class charter carrier that operates a fleet of Airbus aircraft both domestically and internationally. Now, Rachel and I had the opportunity to go down to Miami and visit Ed at his shop down there, and I've got to tell you that we are so excited to be able to share this product on these routes with this community. I honestly can say that I believe it will be nothing like you have experienced before out of Lincoln. So we're thrilled to have with us today Ed Weigel, the chairman, CEO, and founder of Global Crossing Airlines. Ed is a 30-year veteran of the commercial aviation industry, having launched several new airlines, restructured several airlines and aviation companies, and advised many airlines worldwide on strategy and aircraft programs. And I found out earlier that outside of just driving by Lincoln on I-80, this is actually his first visit to Lincoln and Nebraska. So please help me welcome Ed Weigel.
Thank you, Dave. I just have a few brief comments. I hope that the 8th board that we put up here eventually will be Miami. We are headquartered in Miami, and I want to remind Coach Rule that some of the best high school football players in the country come from Miami. So we expect to see you down there, and I'll take you around. I'll show you the good schools. Governor Pillen, Mayor Baird, thank you so much for having us. We're thrilled to be here in Lincoln today. I'm going to introduce some of our team members in a moment, but I did a little bit of research on Lincoln, named after one of our greatest presidents. And this field is where Charles Lindbergh learned how to fly. And I'm sure you all know that. I didn't know that until I looked it up, and I consider myself an aviation expert. But he learned to fly right here on this field, and it was called Lindbergh Field for many years. So very happy to be here. I brought 5 great ladies with me today. 4 of our crew members, and of course our aircraft, which you'll see in a few moments. But let me just quickly introduce my team members. They are the heart and soul of our airline, and they are the reason why we have been in business flying for 18 months. For the football bowl games in December and January, we flew 28 teams to their bowl game. We've been in business 1 year. For March Madness, 64 teams, we flew 37 of them to their games, and we flew all 4 finalists to Houston this week. We cover the entire United States. We're now in Lincoln, Nebraska. We fly all over the Caribbean. We fly all over Latin America. Next year, we will be flying to Hawaii. This summer, we will have 2 airplanes flying in Europe out of Amsterdam on behalf of one of the carriers in Europe. So we have the breadth and depth of experience to do this, but let me introduce my 4 team members. Again, they're the heart and soul of what we do. Our purser, Paula Nelson. Renee Ferraro. Penny Green. She hails from Mississippi, but she's fallen in love with Nebraska. So. And Hope Ayala. So, and our 5th is our aircraft, which you'll get to see in a few moments. The city of Lincoln, to us, to the outside world, right, to those of us who live on one of the coasts, the left coast or the right coast, Lincoln represents the very best of America. Hometown values, hardworking citizens, and a real zest for capitalism. In fact, I was talking to the governor and the mayor over our lunch, and we're already looking at trying to do some sort of alliance with some of the sustainable fuel manufacturers here in Lincoln. We need to do that as part of our ESG. We want to be a great corporate citizen, and I think we're going to get a great partnership here in Lincoln to get some of that great corn turned into jet fuel for us. So we appreciate that very much. There's no question, and you have seen this, that communities like Lincoln have lost their air service over the years. Lots of reasons for that. There was a time when regional jets filled the skies. We've had a pilot shortage, and those regional jets become less and less. The majors are flying in bigger markets with bigger airplanes, and communities like Lincoln get left behind. I applaud Lincoln for being innovative. I think that was mentioned a few moments ago. And taking this issue head on and saying, we are not going to put up with the lack of air service. We're going to put something into our community to make this happen. And so it's very, very grateful for us who provide airplanes. And our airline was built exactly for these types of missions and these types of flights to be welcomed here to provide our services to this great community. So we applaud you for facing this issue straight on and with a purpose and an entrepreneurial spirit. We very much looking forward to partner with all of you to make this successful. We know it will. We've looked at the numbers. There's been a lot of research and analysis that has gone into this, and we know that this is a winner. Just a little bit about Global X. I mentioned some of the places we fly. We have 12 airplanes now. By the end of this year, we will have 20 airplanes. And by the end of 2025, we'll have 50 airplanes. We're well-financed, well-capitalized. We've got lots of airplanes coming, great support from Airbus. And we look forward to bringing many of those airplanes here into this community. So we look forward to flying all of you to all these destinations. We need to fill these seats. My guess is Las Vegas will probably get filled first, based on historical data, and who knows, maybe I'll be on that flight too. So again, we thank you very much for being here to welcome us to this community. We are very excited about it, and we will be your partner through this, and we will make this work. And I know that part of the program, I would love to invite you out to our aircraft, which is parked outside. It has just come off of a long tour for, I'm not allowed to say the name, but his name is Bruce Springsteen. We have flown him for the last few months. We have flown Lady Gaga. We have flown Harry Styles. We have flown Barbra Streisand. We have flown any number of celebrities. We also fly normal people and regular people like you and me. But we have built this airline to be very, very flexible and very, very accommodating to the needs of the communities that we serve. And we just look forward to working with you. And I'm sure the first flight announcement will be made soon. I will be here for that. Many of my team members will be here, and we look forward to getting that flight up into the air. So thank you very much. Thanks for your welcome. And we're grateful to be here. Governor, Mayor, thank you so much. City Council, thank you so much.
You know, I was remiss when I came up here and forgetting to mention that when Jason and Derek found out that they were going to get Las Vegas, they said, hey, are we going to be able to reenact scenes from The Hangover? I said, yeah. That may not be the image we want to portray. So I want to thank everybody for being here today. So first of all, if you are curious, fares and schedules are all now available and live for booking on goflyred.com. If you do not have it, there is a handout that our Redcoats have that you can take with you, so feel free to share that with as many people as possible. Again, like I said, it is now the community that keeps this service here, so we need your help. Word of mouth, tell your friends, tell communities, tell others, tell people flying out of other airports that they shouldn't be, but by all means try to get them here. So if you are checking out the airplane, which I strongly encourage you to do, I believe that will depart kind of out of the front door and come around. I'm trying to see if somebody can make sure that that's a correct statement. for me. We'll just follow the crowd. I imagine there'll be a lot of you doing that. And then for any of you that signed up for the terminal tour, so the behind-the-scenes terminal tour that we're doing, if you were not going out to the aircraft, you can kind of hang out up here. We'll maybe get you in there early because we've got a fairly large group. So again, don't forget, goflyred.com, book early and often. Thank you guys for being here today.